Okay, guys and gals, we are on lesson 29. This is the last lesson in this module before we get to the end of module assessment. I cannot believe we're here, but we are. So this is on page 317 in your math workbook, and we're looking at the classwork. It says on the exploratory challenge 1, the claim says to find 10% of a number, all you need to do is move the decimal to the left once. So if I'm looking at, I'm just going to write down, let me get my pen here. And it says I'll just write right there. It says to find 10% of a number. So if we had the number 60 and the decimal for 60 would be over here, right? And if we were going to find 10% of a number, all you need is to move that decimal to the left once. So is 10% of 60, is that equal to 6? That's our question. So first, make a prediction. Do you think the claim is true or false? Whatever your prediction is, you'd be writing that down. So I'm in my head, I'm saying, well, 10% is 10 over 100, or I could also say it's 1/10. It's going to be 1/10. If I took 60 and I divided it up into groups of 6, I'd have 10 groups, right? So what's going to be in each of my groups? So whatever you say here is based on your thought or your rationale. And then on B, we're going to determine 10% of 300. So I'm going to write in here's my 300, and I'm going to multiply that by my 10% is 10 over 100 or 1 over 10. So I'm going to go 1/10, and that is equivalent to 300 over 10. Okay, well, and then I'm going to divide top and bottom by 10. I get 30 over 1. Well, that's kind of like I moved the decimal place over one place to the left. 10% of 300 is 30. What about 10% of 80? So I'm going to start with my 80, and I'm going to multiply that by 1/10. And that equals 80 over 10, divide by 10, and I get 8. That works. How about 10% of 64 times 1/10 is 64 over 10. And that means 64 over 10, or if I had 64 and I'm dividing by 10, I would say that would be 60. There's a decimal. 6.4. So that's kind of moving the decimal one place to the left. 10% of 5. So if I have my 5 times 1/10 is 5 over 10, which equals 5/10 looks like that. That's 5/10, meaning the decimal slid over one place to the left. I could also write that, just so you know, as a fraction, 1/2. That's equivalent to 1/2. Okay, 10% of something is 48. So it says 1/10 times, I don't know, is equivalent to 48. Well, guess what? Let's see. If I put, so if I had this long tape diagram, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they're saying one of these is equal to 48. But if I had 10 of those, so what's 48 times 10? I get 480, right? 48 10 times. So I can throw that in here, 480. Okay, then 10% of something is 6. So if I go, I'll go to a better color. Okay, 10%, 10 over 100, which is equal to 1/10 of something times something, I don't know, is going to give me 6. Well, what over 10 is going to give me 6? I think I have to work in the reverse order, meaning I have to add a 0 rather than the decimal moving to the left. So in this case, we have 6 times 10, which is equal to 60. Okay, let's see. This is a little, every lesson is a little more challenging. Let's page and see what we have. So we're continuing. It says Gary read 34 pages of a 340-page book. So 34 is the part, the whole is 340, right? And then I know in each of these cases I can divide by 34, and then I'm going to get, that would be 1. And in this case, that's going to be 10. So what percent did he read? Well, 1 out of 10, or times by 10 times by 10, I get 10 100ths, which is equal to, we know, 10%, because we've been writing fractions, ratios, and percents, decimals. Oh my gosh, you've got so many skills. So now let's take a look at this one. Micah read 16 pages of this book. If this is 10% of the book, how many pages are in the book? So 10% is 10 over 100. Okay. And then we know that we've got 1 times the 16 when I go to 1/10, right? 1/10. And then that's 10 times 16, because I divided it by 10 here. So that is equivalent to 16 over 160. So there are 160 pages in his book. Got it. Using the solutions to the problems above, what conclusions can you make about the claim? Well, the claim, way back, claim is true. Claim is true, right? So if you're finding 1/10 of an amount, or dividing by 10, which is the same thing, the decimal moves to the left 1 place. That is correct, like that. Okay, so I think we're good there. And let's see, do we have anything else, or we're going to stop? I think we stopped there. There's also another exploratory challenge, but we will have you can do that on your own if you want. And then you also can move into the problem set and then the exit ticket. Okay, good job.